Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the back nine of our little advanced versus intermediate challenge here. Trying to highlight some of the differences between advanced players and intermediate players so you can see what you need to work on if you want to move up in the disc golf world here. So through the front nine, I can speak. I'm at 1 under, and you're at 5 over here.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately at 5 over. It was a tough front nine.
Definitely, and it's a very windy round on this day also. So hole 10 here is a pretty straightforward hole. I think it's like 270, slightly uphill. Really just throw straight, throw hyzer, throw something to get 270 and get pretty close. So what are you throwing here, Aaron?
I believe this is my getaway. Nice and overstable, but has plenty of glide, and I released that so early, but I got some decent glide out of it, and
yeah,
it's close.
Yeah, I think we're throwing into a left to right wind here, so that'll definitely, even if you release it early, it'll push it right further, which will be nice. So here's my buzz, and I'm looking to kind of go just straight at it for the most part, and that was an ace run. I was pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a good shot, for sure. So I did come up a little short.
With that early release,
yeah. Didn't get a lot of power on it, but
nailed the
that
putt.
one feels good. You can see it
in
my body language that finally hitting a big one feels good.
Yeah, definitely had some putting woes on the front nine, so that must be a nice circle's edge putt to hit. And I'm happy to get the birdie on that one too, so we get another star frame. And I misspoke on the front nine, that's actually our third star frame. We also got one on hole 4, so going on to hole 11 here. I am now 2 under, and you are 4 over.
Correct.
So hole 12 here, or hole 11 here, sorry, is, again, kind of just right there. Most people throw like a forehand or just a gentle turnover backhand. It's only like 240 or something like that, and it's slightly downhill, so it plays pretty short.
And depending on the wind, you can also go the big hyzer, but we don't normally have a good wind for that.
Yeah.
So here's my fantastic forehand. There it goes.
Yikes.
See ya.
Yikes.
Got a hold of it in the wrong direction. Yeah, all I can do is laugh because that was not good.
Definitely. When you shank one, just laugh on the course. That's probably the best strategy to how to come back off of that. So, my forehand there ended up just a little bit short, but I'm pretty happy with it overall. Just throwing a zone. As I said, it's slightly downhill, so it's a pretty easy zone forehand for me.
Yeah, I got pin high left, but I am way out. And yeah, it was a run. Like, might as well give it a shot.
Here's me tapping in.
Little drop in.
Again, this is just great film quality.
Yeah, and there's my little comebacker for my 3.
Yep.
This one doesn't feel great to get a 3, but it doesn't hurt either.
No, definitely. It looks simple, but it's not as easy of a hole as that. So, going on to hole 12. Hole 12 is another one that's actually a pretty challenging hole. We got these reeds here on the left. We're actually teeing from out of bounds on this one, trying to throw inbounds across the reeds. The basket is perched up on this hill on the left here. This one, probably I would say going to the basket plays maybe 450, 440, something like that.
At least.
Yeah, so it's a rip. And with this left to right wind, I'm kind of trying to play it right at the basket and let it fade right, and instead I play it right of the basket and let it turn further right.
Yeah, that turned over on you.
Definitely.
But very safe.
All right, Aaron. Raider,
yeah,
I think?
I believe this is my Raider. Yeah, I usually just go for the hyzer, but
with this wind, that hyzer's just going to get knocked down.
Yeah, so I went for a little turnover and try and just pump it as far as I can. And safe.
So here's me from a ways away. Not an easy upshot, but not one that I'm sweating about too much. I have a little forehand gap that I can throw, mostly just trying to not go really long and go OB.
And you almost did it.
I did. I tested that a little bit more than I was intending, but should be an easy up and down still. Then you've got,
Yeah,
is this your
this
suspect?
is my suspect.
Lucidex suspect, so a little bit more overstable.
Yeah, just try and get it underneath the basket so you don't have a putt.
Yeah. Just blast it at the basket into the hill and you're fine on that one.
Yeah,
So.
kind of like in hole 1. You just want to hit the hill and so you don't have to putt.
Yeah. And here's me. I actually thought I was closer to the basket than I was. So that was me putting with a zone because I left my bag over by the next tee. Not always the best advice.
No, not usually, but...
So on to hole 13 here. I am at 3 under and you are at 4 over. So I'm playing all right. I'm relatively happy in the wind for how I'm doing. You're coming back off of the struggle bus.
Yeah, I've finally kind of righted the ship, and I'm starting to make better shots now.
Yeah. So hole 13 here is a pretty short hole that should be pretty easy. You're basically just throwing a little hyzer around these trees here, trying to keep it short of the basket most likely so that it doesn't go into the reeds long. I was testing the reeds there. I went left and a little bit long, but I'm still inbounds, I believe, through that one. Never mind, I am out of bounds.
And this is my verdict, and you can see the wind just messing with that thing so hard, but yeah, it was a good shot.
Yep. So what do you got? You got maybe 25 feet here for your birdie.
Yeah, and I'm putting back at the out of bounds, and yeah, the wind just got a hold of that one again.
Yeah, so I just barely crept out of bounds here.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, got my putt coming back for my 3, got a little tailwind, so just trying to give it the height properly, and I did, so that's a nice circle 3 there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and you can see these reeds in the back. It is gusty out here today.
Caught that one was a good catch from the basket there, a little bit right side.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a great putt, but it stayed in, so...
Yeah. Alrighty, so still at 3 under and 4 over, going on to hole 14, which is another tough hole here. This one's about 380, and it's right over these reeds. You can barely see the top of the basket here. It kind of, it sticks out maybe 30 feet or so from the reeds, but it's all downhill from the basket to the reeds, so you really are probably trying to miss right of the basket just to be safe. I usually go with a forehand and kind of just try and land about where the trunks of those trees are, a little bit right and a little bit short, just to give myself a putt, but that one I let the wind get under and missed right quite a bit.
Yeah, and it was humid out here today, so I'm reaching for my my birdie bag.
Oh yeah. Always a good call to have one of those when you're playing in a humid environment or in the rain. Honestly, those things are lifesavers.
Yeah, and my concern is there's also out of bounds on that softball field. You can see the fence over there. So I'm trying really hard not to turn it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pump it hard, pump it straight.
Yep, just land right up by those trees.
Just get in bounds by the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that shot.
Hydrating is also key when it's hot out.
Oh,
I think
very.
today it was, or that day it was like 90 degrees or something like that. It was warm.
It was hot and sticky, and then somehow still windy.
Yep. Welcome to Central Illinois.
Yes, it is very much Illinois.
Alright, so that looks like your Warden, maybe? Lucidex Warden, I think?
Yeah, something like that. Just try and get up to the basket. I have no intention of going for a 2 on this hole, so I'm very happy with a 3.
Yeah, and on this one, I'm actually trying to line this up to run it. We've got a slight head left to right wind, so I'm trying to play that wind and let the wind kind of control the speed, but I just did not give it height at all to let it go in. So, easy 3.
Yep, just dropping them in. Like I said, I like taking a 3 on that hole.
Definitely. There's hole 14, me getting some great footage of the course. So still at 3 under for me and still at 4 over for you.
Correct.
Alrighty, so going on to hole 15. Hole 15 is a pretty just dead straight, like 320, I think, foot hole, with reeds left that get closer to the basket the further to the basket you get. So you really want to hit the gap in the trees here, and you really want to penetrate forward. If you have something that's fading out left, you're in danger of going OB, you're in danger of a lot of things. So you really want to just push it forward, and I just grip lock that right.
Yeah, pin high left, OB is really close.
Yeah, probably 20 feet or so, I would say.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing my escape trying to turn this over.
Yeah.
And I did. And I got a hold of it pretty good.
Yeah, that was definitely one of your better drives, I would say. This hole definitely has given you trouble in the past, so it's good to see you have a nice clean drive on the hole.
Yeah, that one felt really good.
Here's my putt, and I just let the wind play with that way too much, and yeah.
You can see it on your face, yep.
Alright, so you got this downhill putt here.
Yeah, this putt is so difficult because it's downhill, like the basket's below my feet.
Into a headwind.
That's my least favorite putt on the entire course.
Definitely. Not an easy one. So here's the comebacker for me. Glad to hit that one still, just to save my 3, and move on to hole 16, which is one that I'm hoping to get more frequently than hole 15. So I'm still at 3 under, and you're still at 4 over after that one. So for this one, it's a downhill, again, maybe like 320-foot hole, and you've got 2 options, or 3 options, really. You got this, like, turnover gap on the left, you've got, like, a penetrating low hyzer on the right. You've got
where you're going right now.
Yes, or this big hyzer play. There's also a forehand option, but the wind was really not good for that today. It was right to left, so I'm trying to throw this big hyzer out and around all these trees and let it come back, and I felt I threw it great, and I believe I was just a little bit deep on this one. Good line, just a little bit far, which it's hard to control distance when you're doing this.
Yeah, and you got this wind playing with the disc, too, wanting to push it left. So
Yeah.
I'm throwing my defender, and I unfortunately threw it a little too high. But I did hug the tree like I wanted.
Yeah, so I think that one's maybe like 25, 30 feet left or something like that. And I'm about as far deep as that, I believe. So not too bad here. Maybe, yeah, like you're probably about 30, maybe circle's edge.
Yeah, but unfortunately I got another headwind putt.
Definitely, yeah.
And
so there's the headwind.
Skied it over the top again.
Alrighty, so here's me, also with a slightly headwind putt, mostly left to right though. Trying to can this for my 2.
Yeah, 2 feels good on this hole, but
Oof, that's just an air ball.
There it goes.
Yeah, I started off a little bit further right than I intended, and the wind just pushed it further right to a nice air ball for that 25-footer. That's a good comebacker.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take a 4 on this hole, so getting the 3, it feels really good.
Definitely. Here's my comebacker. Nice and solid in the center of the basket. I am happy with that.
Yeah, that was a good putt.
Alrighty, hole 17 here. We've parred a lot of these holes in a row, so I'm at 3 under still. You're at 4 over still. Hole 17 here is an uphill. I think this one is listed at like 300-ish, but it
a little longer,
plays,
but it plays much further.
Yeah, I'd say this one plays maybe 330, 340. It's uphill the whole way. You need to clear this little ridge right in front of the basket to actually get it up there. Once you get it over the ridge, it might skip towards the basket a little bit, but there's also OB long on this one, so you got to control it a little bit. So here's my overstable nuke, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, if you're up on the flat, you're going to have a putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as you crest the ridge, you're maybe 40 feet out, so if you get up further, then you're good. This is your Raider again?
Yeah, Raider just threw it up in the air again, so it's going to drop well short. And yeah, that wasn't my best effort, but it was okay.
Yep. So here's your maybe 45, 50 footer.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Especially in this wind.
Once again into a headwind.
Alright, there's the putt, and no lift at all. I think you got that one slightly nose down.
Yeah, a little nose down, and it just dropped right out of the sky. I was trying not to airball it because there is OB back there in the tall stuff.
Yep. There's my two, about a 15, 20 footer, so I'm pretty happy to make that in the wind still and get a birdie after a lot of pars in a row.
Yeah, 5 pars in a row, finally catching a birdie.
Yeah.
And there's my sad 3 again, but it could have been worse.
Definitely could have been worse. Alrighty, so now I move to 4 under, and you are at 4 over still.
Yep, still at 4 over.
Yep.
Trying to come back.
Yeah, definitely. On to hole 18. This is one that you definitely want to be getting a birdie on most of the time out here. It's, again, kind of just straight at you. It's, I think, about 300 feet, but it's downhill, so you can throw something a little slower than you might want to, or than you might normally for a 300-foot shot to try and get there. I believe this is my buzz that I'm throwing here, just trying to keep it on hyzer and let it come back. We had a tailwind here, which was also helping to push the disc forward. And
you almost hit the pole.
Yeah, I was very happy with that
Very
one.
happy. Yeah, so I'm throwing my Moonshine EMAC Truth and trying to just punch it straight at it. You don't want to throw something too fast because there is OB right behind the basket, so short is definitely the play.
Yeah. And that's definitely kind of the two main plays. There's the big hyzer around, or there's the more direct, straight at it, lower hyzer right there. And both are equally good plays, I would say.
Yeah, and you can see how close the OB is behind the basket.
Yeah.
And, yep, just didn't commit to it, and I missed.
Yep, chained out a little high right.
Yep.
So, here's my tap in. Good old buzz putt. Those always feel nice.
Oh, yeah, driver putts. Best putts in disc golf.
Oh, yes. Although the buzz is a mid-range.
That is fine.
All right, Aaron, what's hole 19 like?
Oh, it's a big hole. All of the concrete is out of bounds. The sidewalk, the parking lot, and then on the other side is more parking lot. Then we got a road on the left. And then the hardest part is there's a Mando left. If you can see that sign of the archway, we have to go left of that post.
Yeah, left of the front post, which is definitely missed frequently.
Oh, it's so easy to miss.
Yeah, because you're trying to get a long-distance shot that's turning over most of the flight, and it's very easy to pull that over. So I, for safety's sake, usually if we have a decent wind for it, we'll go with this forehand, just because I feel like I'm less likely to miss the Mando, and it will finish right, even though I'm most likely not going to be able to get it all the way there with a forehand.
Yeah, we got a pretty nice tailwind right now, so we can really tee up on something.
Definitely.
So here's my escape, and trying to get it to just glide to the right.
Yeah, and I think you just left that one out to the left a ways. Yeah.
It's going left. That's kind of my mistake on this hole is I end up left side.
Which, I mean, it's open here. Even if you get past that row of trees that's on your right now, it's still pretty open to the road.
Yeah, and I'm throwing my really overstable Justice here, expecting it to drop in toward the basket, but I got a hold of that one.
Yeah, that one went a little long. Here's me just trying to have a little fun. I'm going with this big spike hyzer putt with this right to left wind, and the wind took it a lot more than I was anticipating.
Oh yeah, it went a ways.
Probably not the best decision. I think in a tournament I would have just done like a little Anheuser layup, but I wanted to try and make it on the last hole. Wanted to have some fun, but left myself with this not nice comebacker from maybe, I don't know, 30 feet-ish. And there's straight into the headwind, wind lifts it right over the basket.
Got you too, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, you knew it. And I just missed. Like, I hit chains left side. I almost made that for my big 3, but...
And that one out of my hand, I was like, oh, perfect. And then the tailwind was like, nope, we're going to hit the cage. We're going straight down. And that is a nice way of ending with a 5. If you really wanted to end with a 5, take notes on that one.
Yeah, gotta love 3 putts to end your round.
Absolutely. So that eradicates the 2 birdies that I had on the holes previously.
Yeah, that one kind of hurts.
Yeah, so final scores there. I finished up with 3 down after that 5 on the last hole, and Aaron finished with 5 over there. So some of the takeaways that I found on that 9, I definitely was noticing the preferred miss coming into play a little bit, where you know what your miss is and trying to play for that miss a little bit. So I think of like hole 14, where for me with that forehand, my miss is usually missing right. I throw it high and it goes right, and that's definitely safe. And that's something I feel that advanced players are a little bit more familiar with or conscious of than intermediate players. Intermediate players might not think about where to miss if they plan on missing. They might think more, I'm going to park this, and not think, well, if I miss parking it, here's where it should wind up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and on that same hole, I aim usually more to the right, just in case I do hyzer out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's definitely something that you can think of if you're trying to improve in disc golf, if you're trying to get better, trying to plan for your misses. Aaron, do you have anything else on that one?
Nope, it was a tough round, but we got through it, and
Yep.
it was just another round at Dodds.
Definitely. Playing in the wind was tough. So, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please hit up my sponsor, Plastic Addicts, for all your disc golf needs. And if you can, throw some discs.